All right, welcome. Here we are. We took a hiatus. We've been gone for a couple of weeks, so we missed you. Welcome to episode 8. See, what had happened was you survived COVID-19 and lived to tell about it. So we're going to get into that today because a lot of folks that, well, mainly Trey knows, but there's a lot of folks that we both know that actually got the it. Because it's not just you heard about it on the news, they got the it. And they're going to tell us what their experience was. But before we do all of that and get into, the meat and potatoes of it all, we got to get to, what are we calling it? Shooting the shit? What are we calling it?
Hi, everybody. I'm Trey the Chocolate Jack. What's your name?
I forgot that.
The whole thing. We rehearsed the whole thing, and I'm just sitting here like, okay, what happened? but go right on ahead.
But good. I'm Alex Dupree.
I'm Trey the Chocolate Jack. And then now I'm supposed to say, see what had happened was. And we
We'll do it. Why don't we just say take two?
Okay, we'll take two. Bro. Yeah, just go.
All right. Well, welcome. We've been gone for 2 weeks. I'm Alex Dupree.
I'm Trey the Chocolate Jack. See, what had happened was you survived COVID and you lived to tell about it. This show, we're going to talk to a few people who had COVID-19 and actually survived it, went through the whole 2-week quarantine, et cetera, et cetera. I wanted to talk about this because, of course, the numbers across the country are going up. Here in Texas, here in Chicago, and Seattle, where Alex is, across the country, the numbers are going up. So I just wanted to talk to people who had the COVID-19 virus and survived it. So we're going to talk about that a little later on. All right.
It's actually scarier now. So, oof.
Yeah.
All right. So what you been up to in the last, I guess we can say 2 weeks, but what you been up to?
Yeah, Alex, just, I've been all good. I forgot to put my headphones on.
I left the house for the first time, homie.
Did you? What happened? How long? Wait, for the first time in what?
3.5 months.
Okay.
And I mean, it wasn't exciting. I didn't even want to, but I'm starting 2 new gigs for my companies, for the 2 companies I work for. So hey, I didn't know. I didn't know that the fire truck was going to go by. I didn't know. But yeah, starting 2 new gigs. So I'm about to be working from home. So I had to go get my company computer. And I'm telling you, I was freaked out the entire time. Got my first little mask, put it on, ran out and ran back. I mean, like in the maybe in an hour most I was out there. So I'm taking my
experience. You got a chance to taste some fresh air.
I was just mad at all the people I saw with no damn mask on. It wasn't no fresh air. I went straight to the car. Batman drove me to the job. I picked up my, went to the building, picked up my computer, got back in the car and dropped back off at the crib.
Been a very interesting. It's been an interesting 2 weeks. Been a very interesting 2 weeks since we haven't touched down.
What have you done?
I've been doing a lot. Well, see, first of all, as you can see, I'm moving my stuff around. I finally got my exercise bike that I said I was going to get, and I'm kind of maneuvering what my space that I have here. And I don't have a haircut. I haven't got a haircut in 3 weeks. So whenever y'all see the Gordon's fisherman hat going on here, that means I need a haircut. So just keep that in mind.
Have you set up your exercise bike? Have you been on it yet? I'm just curious.
Yeah, I've been on the damn bike. This thing cost me over $2,000.
I know it did.
I'm on a payment plan though. I financed it, but I'm on this bike. Okay. I wake up early in the morning. I get in like 30-40 minutes on the bike because the bike is virtual. You get on the bike and then there's this virtual trainer dude on there, right? And you're on the bike, so you're on the bike. It was an MOM. Is that what it's called? Minute on the minute. So for 30. For a minute, you on the bike, you're doing your thing, and for the last like 15 seconds, Iman. There you go. So so you're on the bike. So see, don't try to.
I know the fitness now. Don't try.
Yeah. So I'm on a bike. To answer your question, I am.
What else did you do health related, Trey? Please, I would like to know. Did you go to the doctor? Because you had some concerns. So I'm just wondering.
Okay, so I would usually tell my age. But I turned 40 back in November, right?
Welcome to the club, homie.
And this will probably be the only time you ever hear me say my age.
Be proud. Come on now.
I want to stay ageless. So I work in radio, and there are these commercials, and I'm sure people who are watching this have listened to the radio and heard these commercials before. do you get up frequently at night to use the bathroom? Do you pee a lot? Do you have the strong urge to pee? So I'm listening to this commercial, and I'm checking all the boxes. I'm like, yeah, I get up at night to pee and pee a lot. So I'm getting scared. So I'm thinking the fact that I'm turning 40, I just turned 40, whatever. I'm getting gray, like I got a gray hair, like you, like maybe one or two of them in here. That's the salt going with the pepper. So we'll be good with that a little later on. But anyway, so got older, and I noticed I drink. So number one, I drink a whole lot of water. I drink water all the time, at least a gallon or almost a gallon. I make sure my pee is clear every single day, right? Because I drink so much water, I pee a lot. And I drink water before I go to bed. So because I pee a lot and I'm getting up frequently at night and I'm listening to these commercials is like, yo, don't get up. Maybe there's something with your prostate, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So I'm like, oh, damn, I'm 40. Maybe it's my prostate. Because I'm getting up every 2-3 hours, I'm getting up to pee, not paying attention to the fact that I drink water. So I called the doctor, and I asked him, I'm like, yo, bro, I'm getting up, I'm peeing a lot. I'm peeing a lot at night. I'm getting.
Oh, you have a dude doctor. You have a guy doctor, man. Okay,
yeah, urologist. So
there's women urologists.
Oh, I didn't know. I didn't know. I'm sorry. I just found out that some of you women, you all bathe when you. Well, that's another story. Hold on. That's a whole nother. I just found out something yesterday that makes me second guess the whole women anatomy. Yeah.
What?
We'll talk about that later. That's another show. Okay. So basically, I made a doctor's appointment. I told him what was going on. And so what did he do? He had to give me a checkup.
What kind of checkup, Trey?
I got a prostate checkup, and I didn't even want a prostate checkup.
What is a prostate checkup?
You know what the fucking prostate exam is. The damn doctor, he gets some gloves, and he goes in there and he looks for a polyp or whatever.
And where?
And yes, that's what happened. So, and I'm thinking this is something I would perhaps have to come back for, get some prep for, put my mind for. He's like, he was like, well, maybe we'll have to do an exam, but it seems like everything is fine from what you're telling me. And I'm like, okay, cool. So when are we gonna do this? Another 2 weeks or so, maybe a month down the line? He's like, no, we go ahead and knock it out real quick right here. And I'm like, fam, you had to. You gotta give me some prep for this, right, fam? You finna stick your finger in you dig, fam? So I'd have to honestly say that was the most uncomfortable 6 seconds of my life, bro. For real. I wouldn't wish that on any man because it's more uncomfortable than anything. You feel me? It's well, you probably don't feel me. But yeah. So
I don't have sympathy. We be having doctors go up in our stuff regularly. First of all, it used to be every year, and I was shocked to find out that they moved the date now. It's like every 5 years, and I'm like, that can't be right. That seems like I'm gonna need cancer.
It's a requirement that you get your prostate checked out or whatever when you're 50.
Right.
So basically, I went 10 years too young, but
it used to be 40.
It used to be 40. Yeah, it used to be 40.
It used to be 40. And let me tell you, I went Batman and I was like, it's time to get your prostate. He's like, no. At the time, he said it was 45. And it was. They keep moving this back. And I was like, I think you're just not trying to do it. And then when it was 45, I was like, okay, babe, you got to go. He's like, no, it's 50. And I'm like, I just think you're not trying to go. And I looked it up and literally it has moved back.
Yeah. I hadn't even told my people on the air this, and you people on Facebook now know that I got a unnecessary prostate. He was like, well, you're fine, man. Just don't drink water before you go to bed and we'll see you in 10 years. I'm like, man.
Yes. You have to cut your liquids off at a certain time. Hello.
Well, I like to drink water. So that's that.
I like to get up and pee too.
Mm-hmm. Past 2 weeks, I've been catching up on a lot of TV stuff. A lot of TV stuff I've been catching up on. I even got a damn subscription to. I'm trying this HBO Max thing out. I haven't really tested it. I've only been watching episodes of The Fresh Prince, but I've just been comparing, these live streaming services. What was the face?
Nothing. No judgment. This is a no judgment zone.
Good. So yeah, been catching up on that. Like I said, I tried HBO Max. Also, Tell me you've seen The Chi.
I've not seen The Chi. I know about it. I have a girlfriend on the show.
Oh, really?
Well, she may not be anymore, but LaDonna Tittle.
Oh, yeah.
Tittle in the middle.
LaDonna Tittle is the older lady. That's Ronnie's grandmother on the show, The Chi. But anyway, The Chi, you got to watch it. It's a great drama. It's based in Chicago. It's so much different stuff going on, from the kids that go to school, the struggle. One of the kids, a big brother, is a thug who eventually gets killed, and he doesn't have a mom because his mom was a dope fiend, and that Johnny Gill is going to be his guardian. Johnny Gill.
Johnny Gill?
Johnny, like the guy who played the Johnny Gill in the New Edition.
Like Rub You the Right Way?
That Johnny Gill. Yeah.
Okay.
It's a really good story, though. It like I said, it showcases a lot of different stories in Chicago, from the gang life, from this dude character having like 4 baby mamas, and he's young out here trying to get it. Then you have
getting it if you got 4 baby mamas.
Yeah, Jacob Lattimore. You know, Shorty, Jacob Lattimore. You probably heard him or seen him. We're gonna need you to get up to the shack.
I'm gonna need you to give me your code because this is Showtime. I subscribe to like 6 or 7 other things. I'm not trying to subscribe to nothing else. So can you give me the homie?
Look, somebody needs to come up with a plan where all of the streaming services, we can get them all at once for like a discounted rate, and I'll be good. I'll pay $25, $30 a month if I can get HBO Max and ESPN Plus and Disney Plus and all these other streaming services.
I'm going to say if there's somebody who doesn't have anybody else on their codes, because you know you can share your Netflix, whatever. If there's anybody, because if Trey forgets about me and he decides to be stingy, inbox me. Just come over to Alex Dupree. Just inbox me your code, because I would like to see The Chi. But I'm not about to damn subscribe to another damn platform.
I got you. But like I said, the show is all Chi. It's created by Lena Waithe, who is from Chicago.
She's married to my former teachers, my buddy's daughter.
Oh,
Barry Mayo.
Okay. Really? She's married to his daughter? Oh, that's cool. His daughter.
Absolutely.
That's pretty dope. Dope. But anyway, she's going to be on the show. That Lala, who can't act worth a damn, what was on there yesterday. So she's introduced as a new character. But it's a pretty good show, and I suggest you really watch it. So I'm gonna see if I can get my password to you so you can check out The Chi.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Really good storyline.
It's just on a budget.
Yeah. Jason Campbell, is that his name? Who's the guy who played Eazy-E in the
I don't know.
The NWA movie. Anyway, he was like the star. The show was basically surrounded around him. Well, they killed him off. He's gone. But this is because like he was fucking up with his agent. Yeah. He got kicked off a few shows, and his agent let him go, and then the agency let him go. So it's like he's more like me and you, I think, a little more famous, or could get an acting gig before he can, I think, these days.
Damn, this sounds like some Isaiah Washington when he said all that he called homophobic stuff with the Grey's Anatomy. He had a good gig too. When you mess up a good job.
What did he do after that?
You tell me, because I don't know.
Right. Exactly. I remember that. Shout out to Monique and Hattie saying what's up to Alex. Hattie Gavan. Those are all Alex friends. Alex got friends named Hattie and
let me tell you, Hattie Gavan. Let me give her love just real quick. Not only was she my across the street neighbor, directly across the street neighbor, she was also the 3rd grade teacher at my grade school. I was not in her class. I was in Miss Douglas's class, but Miss Gavan was the other one. But she's a neighbor, and she's known me since I was born.
Yeah. Shout out to Hattie, Miss Gavan. Good evening to you. Also, BET Awards was on yesterday. Did you get a chance to check it out? Tell me you saw the BET Awards on yesterday.
I did not see the BET, but I did watch the Megan Thee Stallion, performance. That's about all I saw. That's all you saw? That's all I saw. I don't really watch award shows a lot because I've had to watch so many damn award shows during our career. So it's just like, if I can miss 1 or 2, please, just thank you.
Okay. So I had a few notes about the show on yesterday. Let's see where my notes are about the BET Awards on yesterday. So, number one, I think the host, who we see right now, Miss Amanda Seals,
I don't see
I
it.
think she did a pretty decent job. You don't? Oh, you don't see it? Hold on, wait, hold on, wait. You don't see it? I'm supposed to be hosting, and also, hold on, wait. Do you see that now? How about now? Nothing.
I see your face.
Okay, that's cool. We'll just keep going. I think Amanda Seals did a great job as the host. The running joke was that she did this in her living room, and if you follow her on Twitter, it was pretty hilarious because it kind of showed the setup of her in her house as she hosted the BET Awards behind like a green screen. It was pretty cool. Awesome. You didn't see that, huh? It's right. I'm trying to show you right here. Hold on, it's not showing. I'm supposed to be the host and the control board operator here, and that's not happening. No, it ain't happening today.
People can look it up.
Okay, how about that one?
No, that's me and you.
Okay. So, here it is. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. So, again, you see that now, right? Tell me you see that now.
Yes, I see.
Okay, we see that now. Okay, so show started off with like a Public Enemy. It was like a Fight the Power 2020. A lot of artists had their conscious performances, such as like the Baby, Roddy Ricch, of course. Beyonce, it was announced that Beyonce has this live album that she's gonna have that'll be put out on I want to say Disney Plus in July. So that's gonna be pretty cool. Wow. Alicia Keys. Yeah, she's gonna do an actual live album. That's gonna be pretty cool. Yeah. Alicia Keys went up there. I don't know, like lately, she's been weirding me out. Alicia Keys has. How? Are you a fan? Huh?
I like how she's grown into womanhood, but what are you talking about?
Well, I got Megan. That's about to say Megan's butt was in our face right now. It was hard to focus, but forget Alicia Keys. We just focus on Megan Thee Stallion's butt. She didn't have Beyonce perform with her, but she did a pretty decent job. As you can see here, Jennifer Hudson is being looked at to play. Well, actually, she is playing Aretha Franklin in the biopic that should be coming out pretty soon. So that should be interesting. It's called Respect.
That's and I saw too long. That's been taking way too long to come out. There were apparently some disagreements about the script and this and that. So they finally got it worked out. Good.
Yeah. So that's that. The BET Awards was yesterday, and I think that's going to be like the prototype to the award season. That's going to be happening pretty soon. You think? No.
Could be, but I just want to say you just showed that picture of Beyonce and Blue Ivy, and that little girl got that award.
She won the brown skin award, right? And I'm not really too much brown skin girl. I'm not. You Jay-Z's daughter, so like you get stuff. You rich. You richer than me now.
You Beyonce's daughter, and and she didn't get nothing because she's Jay-Z's daughter. She's getting it all because she's Beyonce's daughter. Yeah.
Shouts out to Charmaine. She said the doctor could have at least brought you lunch and gave you a sucker afterward.
I saw that.
That's funny. That's funny.
Let me tell you a couple.
Go ahead.
Let me just tell you a couple of things that I've been watching. I've been catching up on old stuff. Mm-hmm. So there's this movie, I think it's a year and a half old, about the 85 Bears called 85. Watch that on what was it? I think it was Amazon Prime. Oh my God, I was in heaven. So that was good. Caught up on my little sports stuff.
Wait, the 30 for 30 on ESPN about the 85 Bear?
I don't think it was the 30 for 30. It was I think it was a different one. Because it was called 85, like the greatest football team to ever live, or something like that. So that was good. What type of operation is you working over there?
ESPN got a 30 for 30 called 85 Bears. That's the one you watch. That's the one you pay attention to. All it's so off-brand. 80. See, it's called 85. Who are they showcasing in that? Kevin Butler, the kicker?
No, all of them. Singletary. They even had Walter Payton's had Jared Payton talking, but they had them all Fensick. They had Ditka. Come on, they had everybody. What are you talking about? What they have? Okay. Watched Do the Right Thing again last night. Batman had never seen Do the Right Thing. So Batman, that was
please tell the audience who Batman is for those who are like, who is Batman?
Love of my life, my spouse.
Okay, so now you're putting him up to black stuff, right?
Yes.
You're putting him up from black stuff. Okay.
Every day. Okay. He's from Branson, Missouri. And so that should just pretty much explain it all. He grew up in the woods and in the mountains.
Okay. Okay.
And so there you go. So he enjoyed that because it still stands up. It was as if that movie was made last week. The subject matter that they were going over. But
Right.
forget that serious stuff. Let's talk about something fun. Have you seen the show The Floor is Lava?
No, I saw the previews to that though.
So I've been watching Floor is Lava and Ultimate Tag. And we've all played Floor is Lava as kids. It's where you can't touch the floor, where you got to hop from like the chair to the couch to the table to whatever. And so
we would dodge roaches. Go ahead, continue.
Okay, I thought I made it like spiders were on the floor, but whatever be the case, yes.
Yeah, roaches.
And so these are pretty fun. And Ultimate Tag is this new show where basically, it's just you tag. I mean, but these grown people. So it's some fun shows out there. It's some fun stuff.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I've been really on the Shad because the last time I left off of the Shad was like the end of the first season. So I had got caught up on the second season, and then they just released 2 new episodes for the third season. So I'm all the way caught up, and that's something you need to really, really check out. It's from your hometown. You watch it and you be like, oh, I know what that is. Hey, I know what that is, And then some of the actors in the show are some people like that dude, Ronnie. I swear I done seen dude like he's an older cat that was on the show. I done seen him like outside the liquor store or something. Like I done seen him somewhere before on the street. Like, I'm like, man, dude, I gotta know you.
He's a hood staple.
Yeah. What else do we not touch? Oh shit, Dr. Dre. Dr. Dre. I don't know if y'all heard about this or not, but Dr. Dre's wife of 24 years is filing for divorce. Okay, weddings come and they go. Things happen. You get divorced. Maybe you separate. Okay, fine. That's cool. Dr. Dre didn't have a prenup.
Not when you Dr. Dre, and not when you don't have a prenup, and not when you are worth $2 squillion. You do not let anybody divorce you. You do a Kobe Bryant and you buy that purple diamond ring and you put that on. You
went out the Coliseum. You better call what's the cello player's name or like get him out here.
Bring him in here. Do whatever you have to do. You start sucking. You start sucking toes.
Yeah.
You do not get divorced.
Yeah. Dr. Dre is worth $800 million.
Yeah,
I got to look at you. I got to look at you and tell you this one. Dr. Dre is worth $800 million with no prenup, which means old girl about to get at least 350 to 400 million.
This is going to be the most expensive divorce. It was Michael Jordan at first.
Juanita's living like a fat cat. Juanita got her feet up now, getting fanned by 2 dudes with giant leaves, eating.
Juanita is so rich. She like disappeared off the planet.
Yeah.
You've never seen her or heard of her. She's that rich.
If I'm $150 million in the bank, I don't care if you know where I am or not. I don't I'm dead. How about that? To everybody.
Exactly.
Yeah. That's something had to happen. I don't know if I don't know. I don't know why.
He had to screw somebody, get somebody pregnant. He had to do something major.
And this has probably been going on like ongoing to where she was, because Dre, I look at Dre. Dre's what, 53, 54. It still don't look like Dre has that much discipline. You know what I'm saying? He's gotten older and more mature or whatever, but he's still like if something had to happen in the parking lot, Dre's about to come outside. He don't remember that he's now $400 million rich.
Stupid, Dan. He's stupid.
Yeah,
he's
man.
Stupid. Whatever. Yeah. What he needs to fix it. We've seen it before where the wife is filed, and then a month later that she has rescinded the filing.
Yeah.
So he needs to. Yeah. This is the month to work. Look on social media. Let's see what kind of groveling this man does to try to get this woman back.
Yeah. So in a matter of moments, we're going to get a few guests on. I told everybody 9:30, so we still got a few more, some more time to right before we get these guests on. It was something else we were talking about. So before the show, we have all these different topics that we want to talk about, and we're like, nah, forget that, and forget that. Okay, yeah, let's talk about that. What was one more thing that we didn't touch on?
All these Karens having temper tantrums in the damn grocery store.
Yeah. I have to always put myself in that predicament whenever I see one of those videos, and I ask myself, like, what should I do? What would I do if I were to encounter one of these people? And a lot of the times I would put myself in that predicament. I'm like, I would just walk off. I would probably cuss her out, call her a name, and just walk off. It was just one video.
I saw it. I know. Keep going.
Yo,
explain it. It's juicy.
It was this one video where this chick, she was mad because they asked her to put on a mask. Yo, this chick was so upset. She walked up on this dude who was recording and coughed in his face. You would have seen me on the news. Do you hear me? Do you hear me? Yeah. Like, out of all of the other stuff that I could have just walked away from, oh, you're on my block, you're taking pictures, I'm an N-word, etc., etc. Okay, fine. You cough in my face? Yo, I don't know. I don't know my actions after that.
My head started going to swivel. I'm an exorcist. It's just,
I would not know what to do. I'm trying to tell you, they're crazy. And I think they're coming out now because, oh, it's good to be racist now. I think that's the thing these days. I think that's the thing because all of them coming out. It's a damn Instagram page that says Karen's Gone Wild. Follow that. Somebody posts all of the Karen videos about what they do on one Instagram account. So all you gotta do is just check it out. Karen's Gone Wild. Karen's
Did you see the black lady in the convenience store, like the gas station, who beat down the old white lady? Because she was just she told her up front, you don't want this smoke because I will beat you down right here up in the store. But she kept calling her the N-word. She said, say it again. Say it again.
Oh yeah, I remember that one. Yeah.
Said it again. She was upside that face, and she was on the ground crying, and she was whatever she said. She said, "You don't want the smoke." Yeah. She didn't.
She got more to smoke. She got more to smoke. So let's get to the topic of this week. Something that's been in the news a lot. This COVID-19. A lot of us think that it's over. A lot of us are acting as if it's over because basically we're just going off of what we're seeing on TV. We're seeing people out having events, and DL Hughley was at a comedy show where it was like, how many people were in the audience, and he performed before he collapsed. So
he did that.
Yeah.
I reached out to him. I was scared for him.
Yeah. So what we're gonna do now is just talk to a few people who have had COVID-19. A lot of people that pop up on my Facebook page, I always see them talk about, thank you guys, pray for me. I have COVID, or I have a family member, or the unfortunate post that you see all the time. Somebody has died, somebody has passed away, etc., etc. So what I did was I contacted a few people on Facebook, maybe 3 or 4 of them, because they all have different stories on how they've experienced COVID-19. Let's talk to Miss Kiki.
Hey,
Kiki, how are you today?
How you doing?
All right, cool. So Kiki is she's my good friend's wife, by the way, and she works in the medical industry. And when I put the post up today about do I have any COVID-19 survivors, she had replied, and I didn't even know that she had it because I see her husband. He's always on the ground, talking stuff or recording himself, but them two out. And so when she said that she had COVID-19, I'm like, whoa, let me hear about that. So if you can, first of all, what do you do for a living, and how did you get COVID-19? Break it down for me.
Okay, I'm a respiratory therapist in Houston for Texas Children's Hospital. Okay. And I honestly think I got it at work, but yes. And so when I first got it, was in March when it first came out. So in my company, they didn't have too many tests. So we wasn't testing every patient that came in, but this particular patient came in for respiratory distress. But it was a situation that happened. And right when it happened, I instantly was like, oh my God, this boy coughed on me like so hard. And I had even called my husband right after I got outside of the room to let him know. And then 3 days later, after that, I started feeling like I was coming down with a cold. Now, mind you, I've never had the flu before or anything. And I consider myself pretty healthy. I don't have any underlying issues that I know of. So when I felt like I was coming down with a cold, I started doing my ginger shots, trying to catch or whatever. And this thing, like the next day, I felt so weak and fatigued. I had body sores and everything. I was supposed to go to work. Well, actually, I did go to work the next day. And so my taste and smell went away.
Oh, yeah.
In March, so they didn't qualify. They didn't say that it was taste and smell. So I'm like, what the hell is going on? And so I was telling my coworkers I didn't feel comfortable. So I ended up calling into work the next day.
Mm-hmm.
I work at a children's hospital, and I work in an ICU unit with kids that have immunocompromised disease. So I didn't want to be the fault of anything. And I'm like, and something, my intuition was like, no, something is wrong. Because like I said, I hardly ever get sick. And so I ended up calling my doctor to let her know, like, okay, can I get tested? This was like March 20th or something. I'm like, can I get tested for COVID? And she was like, well, you don't have a cough. You don't have like a fever. I didn't have a fever. I didn't have any of those symptoms. So she said I didn't qualify. All of my symptoms were kind of pointing into like sinus pressure, sinus infection. Right. So she said, okay, you may have a sinus infection. So I'm like, okay, maybe it is that, because I did have a headache and I had pressure or whatever. And so she ended up giving me antibiotics, which I started taking. But by the second day, it made me feel worse.
Oh, no.
Wow.
Something is wrong, because I'm not a medicine taker, and usually it will like work immediately. So I had told her like, I need to do something, because I cannot go back to work like this. I need to know what's going on with me, And I kept calling in to work or whatever. And so she finally gave me a number to call. And this is when you had to have a code to get tested. When I called the number, I had to end up lying about all my symptoms. I told them I had a cough, a fever, everything, just so I can get tested, because I wasn't comfortable with how I was feeling. Yeah. But so bad that I would wake up, I couldn't even get out of the bed. And like days progressed on, it got worse and worse. So by the time
wait. So when you say you couldn't get out of the bed, like your body wasn't, you couldn't move your body?
I was extremely fatigued. Oh my God, I felt like my body was about to break down.
Wow.
Oh man, I'm sorry to hear that. That's scary.
It is very scary. So I was telling my husband, I was like, something's wrong. So I started quarantine. Like, I didn't sleep in the bed with him. And he thought I was tripping.
I was going to ask you about that. Did he think you were crazy? Or did he
was like, girl, ain't nothing wrong. I'm like, I know my body. I know. So I kind of stayed my distance from my kids and him. So, because he was still going to work. So I did everything. Like, I was doing turmeric shots, ginger shots. I take my black seed oil, which I've been taking for like years now, just trying to do everything to build my immune system, just in case it was that and it can be bad. Right. So I went into the test, and sure enough, they called me, was like, you're COVID positive. I'm like, I knew it. So I ended a job, and I'm like, okay, look, this is what's going on with me. I'm COVID. I'd never had a temperature. So honestly, I could have went to work, because at my job, we're taking temperatures. So they take your temperature before you come in, and they ask you questions like, have you been traveling, or have you been exposed to anyone positive, which I haven't, to my knowledge.
Right. You don't know.
So once I got the test taken, after that, I started having chest pain.
Wait. So stop right there. The test. Tell me about the test, because we've seen on TV, they stick this big, long, stupid ass Q-tip down your nose. But then there's some people that I've seen, the Q-tip wasn't that big, So what was your test like?
It's pretty long. And so when it was time to take a test, of course, it's through a drive-through, okay? And where they got this hazmat suit on, you would think it's an airborne thing. They had
Ebola.
They had their N95 mask on, their goggles, they had their whole suits on, and they told us, they had signs up saying, do not roll your window down. I'm like, what? Like, y'all all geared up. Why I can't roll my window down?
Right.
They tell you, do not roll your window. You cannot roll your window down. So when it's time to take the test, they put this little note up on your window to tell you what you have to do. They tell you that you're going to scoot closer to the door and like put your head outside the window, like stick your neck and head outside the window. And they just shove this shit up your nose. It hurts to me.
It looks like it's painful. Man.
It hurt. It hurt.
Yeah.
Wow. And so the thing is, they say it takes 2 weeks, but honestly, I was sick. I was out of work for 6 weeks.
Yeah. No, but they say it takes, from what I understand, it takes 2 weeks to present, but it can take up to 6 weeks to fully pass through.
Wow.
Yeah,
and it took you the 6 weeks.
Yeah, it took a long time, but it presented like 3 days later, I feel.
Wow.
Wow.
And
so tell me about everybody else in your house. Were you quarantined from them? Were you interacting with them or what? How was that working?
So I had an N95 mask. So I would come downstairs to get stuff to eat and drink. I would do little things when I can, but the minute I felt weak again, I would go lay down.
Yeah.
Trying to keep my distance from them or whatever.
Right.
They never show signs of symptoms.
Okay.
So
that's a blessing.
Right.
Yeah,
the good thing is with my company, in order to go back to work, I had to test again.
Yep.
I know for a fact that I was negative. So I had to take two more tests to get back into my job.
Did anybody else at your job get it?
Yeah. So when I first called them and told them that, look, this is what happened, I had to give them everybody who I was in contact with, like what patients I've dealt with and coworkers or employees and stuff like that. And so, yeah, I had a few people. It's been doctors that come in. Yeah, and it's so sad because they come in there, they don't know they have it because some people are asymptomatic. I don't know what made them get tested, but they got tested, they were positive. And so all of these patients that they went into their rooms, they have to test them and keep them on precaution for like 14 days.
Wow. Crazy.
It's crazy. And so I told my doctor, I feel like I need an exam.
Mm-hmm.
Like a follow-up, because I just feel like sometimes I have shortness of breath and I still have bad headaches, and I've never had headaches before. So I think mine is more in my congestion and nasal.
Gotcha.
So do you think are you of the feeling right now that it has some lingering effects, like because of what happened to you, there's something that's always gonna be a little wrong?
Yes.
That's rough. And I want to ask you this too. So you've had COVID. Do you believe, because the tests aren't even conclusive yet, do you believe that once you had it, you get the antibodies and you can't get it again? We've already known on record, I think there's 2 people in the world that we know on record who have had it twice.
Oh my.
But are you feeling like, oh, the state is reopening, I can go?
Okay, so here's the thing. I feel like you can probably get it again. So I do take precautions. I have been outside. I'm not even gonna lie, but I do wash my hands. I try not to touch my face or whatever, and do everything that I can do. But I'm afraid I will get it again. I think you can't. Not enough research. It's something new. So they're all just winging it. They don't know what they're talking about. Because the CDC called me 14 days later saying that I was recovered, and I was telling them, no, I'm not. And they was like, we have to put this down, because if you're not having, because like some days I wouldn't have symptoms, but then the next day it will come again.
Right. I heard about that.
So I'm like, no, y'all should not be saying things is recovered, and I'm really not recovered.
Right.
So let me ask you something that I really want to know about. So what was it like? Because your braids are slamming. What was it like when you went back to the beauty shop to get your braids done? Were they wearing masks? Was you wearing a mask?
I went to a girl house. I went to a house. So it was just one individual, and I had my mask on the whole time.
Okay. Is she cool? Is she cool now?
Who?
Yeah, the braider. Did she get it?
No.
Okay, cool.
No, I didn't know. But when I went to get my hair done, I was already negative. Like I didn't do nothing.
Did she wear a mask? Did she wear a mask?
Did she have a mask on? I don't even know. I remember she did have her hand sanitizer all the time. Like I was using it. And this was back. I got these back in May. Like
they look good, girl.
you.
Well, look, Kiki, thank you so much. I appreciate it. I know you got to get to bed. When I hit her earlier, she was like, look, man, I'm usually in the bed at 9 o'clock.
I just got home like an hour ago. I took a shower and get back to it again. 12-hour shifts.
All right. Well, we appreciate you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for sharing your story.
All right. Bye.
All right. So again, I wanted to continue this topic, man, because M Dubs, my man Marvin Phipps, who's a hilarious comedian in Chicago. He also hosts a video podcast. We'll talk to him on that in a minute. But his story with COVID-19 hit the news in Chicago because, if I'm not mistaken, his wife and daughter had it.
My son, wife.
Okay, son. So break down that situation, man, and how that happened.
So this COVID thing is crazy, man. So I was the first one to get sick in my household. Had the headache, had the temperature, and I was just weak. And but it didn't last long. But like the young lady said before, it would some days you'd be okay, then the next day it like came and went, but it lasts for a long time. So shortly after because quite naturally my wife was helping me get better. My son, 6 months, we took him to the hospital. He was tested positive for COVID-19. So they had to keep him. He was on the breathing machine, everything. So while my wife was with him, she tested positive. So I'm at home. Now we had another 9-year-old son. Me and him is at home. They're at the hospital. She's at Children's Memorial with my son while she's facing COVID. So she didn't want to leave my son, of course. He's 6 months. I can't go out the house because they telling me and my other son, we got to stay quarantined. So they pretty much basically was telling me, even though I was never tested, you have to, presume like you got it too.
Right.
So they stayed in the hospital 15 days.
Oh, wow.
And it caught the news and it just went, it went crazy. But the symptoms, man, it just varies. And like the young lady said, like you still feel like effects from it, like I still get headaches. They be saying you beat it or whatever. I'll be like, we don't know if this thing will come back. We don't know if it's just in you. Like how they say, okay, you could get it again. How do we know? Because I know people who had it and they're still testing positive for it. You know what I'm saying? Like months later, they're still testing positive. So it's one of those things where, like she said, they don't really know.
Right.
We don't know. And the crazy thing is what was happening early on, I remember, because I was like, I didn't really have no symptoms. And so they would tell you to quarantine for 14 days. So you will stay in the house 14 days, right? And you'll go back out thinking you're fine, and you're passing it around. Right. And it's like it just activated in 14 days. You know what I'm saying? And that's what a lot of people was doing. Right. You would be just in the middle of really having it. So I was like, 14 days ain't long enough, man.
Ain't enough. Right.
And that was a real scary time for me, man, and for my family, man. It was rough.
I can imagine. So who do you think, because you had it first, right?
Yeah.
How do you think you got it? Were you doing a lot of events or, what I'm saying?
That's just normal stuff, bro. Like, doing comedy shows.
Yeah.
Me and my wife going to work.
Yeah.
My son did have a few hospital visits. So trying to pinpoint that thing, we can't say, but we don't know, man. And it's just unfortunate. And a lot of people had it or had those symptoms. And, as months went on, we start thinking about people. I had a sister. She was in the hospital. She's a diabetic, and she was in the hospital all of January, and for like 18 days, and was on. And we didn't think about it till after like all this stuff hit. We was like, "Yo, you had COVID."
Yeah.
Like real shit. Like she was on ventilator. They were saying she couldn't breathe. And this was January though. And we was like, they, we was like, what was going on? But after all this stuff hit, we was like, yo.
You look back on it and be like, yo, I could have had so-and-so, so-and-so.
Yeah.
Did you have the chills too? Were you having the shakes?
Oh yeah. Still them chills. You still have them. It'd be like, and I couldn't explain it to people. Like, bro, it's like you'll still feel a certain way. Like she said, it's like effects. Like, that's what I'm like. I'm fearful, bro, of this winter coming and all the people who tested COVID. You still carrying around some inkling or it come back? Like that's what I want to know. Like, could it?
Yeah, it's a reoccurring. Keep going.
Because we've been hearing so many different things. Like once you get it, you carry it, or it's one of those things that you have. Like I don't know, man. But
let me ask you: did they give you any type of medication while you were?
No,
it's one of those things where you just got to wait it out. Huh?
It's no medicine. It's no nothing. So we're doing all the stuff that, of course. But here's what I love, Trey. Like when my family was sick, man, people were so supportive and people were sending stuff and we was doing the hot steam pot with the and all that shit worked. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because at first they told us don't take any ibuprofen. Just take
ibuprofen.
Just take the Tylenol. So we was just taking the Tylenol and basically just trying to treat it like you would treat a flu. With your Theraflu, with your Tylenol and your teas and, lemons and like old girl said, you're trying to keep your vitamin D's and you're just doing all those things. But it was, even when my wife and son was in the hospital, it was nothing they could, I was asking her, like, did they give you anything? She was like, no, it ain't nothing they can give you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? She's in the hospital shivering. Now they wanted her to go because she's at Children's Memorial with my son. They wanted her to go to Northwestern. She's like, I'm not leaving my baby,
Right.
So it was just tough, bro.
And then I could imagine so first you're sick, what I'm saying, and then the whole mental part of 3 people in your family having it. So man, I could just
after that, sorry to cut you off, but
you cool.
She lost her dad. She lost her uncle. I lost a cousin. So we, in the midst of all this, we're losing people.
Yeah.
Right.
And then you have it. You don't know if something. It's just been a rough, terrible ride, bro.
Let me ask you something. If you could give some advice to some people out there, you know what I'm saying? Like, is there any advice to give besides the wearing your mask or the shit they tell you to do?
Here's what I've learned with our people. A lot of people didn't take it serious till they saw me post about it. So a lot of people took it for a joke until they saw someone they knew. And a lot of people was inboxing me like, yo, I didn't think this shit was real, bro.
Yeah.
And my advice to people is it's not a game. Yeah. And you shouldn't have to take your mom or your brother, your grandma, your sister, somebody to, do what they asking you to do. Wear your mask, wash your hands, and let's try to get this thing under wraps, man, because it's no joke, bro. It really is really not,
Let me ask you this. I'm gonna give you 2. On a scale of 1 to 10, how painful was it? On a scale of 1 to 10, where were you in thinking you were not gonna make it?
Well, so with us, my wife did have the breathing issues. I didn't necessarily have like breathing issues where I couldn't breathe. Okay. So I would say they would label me as like mild symptoms.
Okay.
Because what they was telling us is like, long as you can breathe, stay home. You know what I'm saying? And so most of it is in your mind because you don't know what's going to happen. Even being in a house for 2-3 months, when you first went outside, you felt like you couldn't breathe. It's like, but you know, you had to, you know, at that point, you're just giving yourself anxiety attacks until you start calming down and understand that, okay, you ain't gonna die. You gotta relax. You know, so it's a lot of that going on. More people are sending themselves, but for every reason, because we don't know what's going on, you know. You know, but for us, they was telling, you know, especially me being home, they was like the doctors, because they call the CDC, they calling, they doing all that. Yeah, it's regulated, man. The way they had it, like they're checking on you every day. You get a call every day. How you feeling? Where you go? You know, they really did a hell of a job on that. And they're just basically was telling me, if you're breathing, if you don't have no trouble breathing, you okay. You know, only go, because I used to want to go to the hospital every day. And they but they like, that's not where you want to go. Trust me. You don't want to go there, you know, unless you really, if you can breathe, and you know, they like, stay at home, bro. You okay. You know what I'm saying? So
man, bro.
I'm so happy you and your wife are okay, but I'm really happy your baby okay.
You know, my baby got a commercial out the deal, man. You know, he got a Bank of America commercial, and you know, people was reaching out. You know, and it was just God, bro. You know, I come from a praying family, man, and you know, that's what I can tell people, man. And for sure, this has have gotten us to eat better, to care about, you know, all that stuff, bro. So. We got to get it together, people.
Absolutely.
Man, brother, man, powerful. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Thank you for that testimony, man, because like a lot of people still aren't taking it serious. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, from somebody who haven't had it, I'm like, man, go on, live your life. This virus ain't so, but you know, a person like you who've had it is saying something completely different.
Bro.
Man, so
it's you know what? And it's good to be like that, Trey, because it seemed like the people who ain't worried about it, they was just living their lives. And then, because I didn't never want to scare people into becoming fearful and not living your life. So it's kind of that balance. You don't want to watch too much of the news. You don't want to, you know, you know, it's crazy, man. But
it's like that WebMD. You can't be going on that WebMD all the time. You go.
Wait, I use WebMD. What you trying to say?
They tell you don't. Here's a funny story. My son was born with a cleft palate, and they told us, do not go on WebMD.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
Because they're going to show you the worst cases of whatever. You know what I'm saying? So it was like, you can't do that, bro. Can't do that.
Go ahead. You got a Facebook show. Coach, what's it called? I see it in the background. When does that come on, man? Tell them about it.
Tuesday nights, man. We on the look. Case. The homegirls looked out. You know, they always stringing me along, man. You know,
I love them. I love both of them.
I love them too. And we doing Culture Clash, man. We talk about everything that's in the culture, you know, covering everything from Corona to the riots to Black History, Juneteenth, everything, man. So we do that on Tuesday nights on Facebook, man, at 9:00, bro.
Cool. I mean, again, appreciate you so much, man. You are a well-rounded brother, so I can bring you on to talk about a whole lot of stuff.
Oh, yeah, please. You know, I love and appreciate what you do, Trey. You a staple. Always been one of the dopest brothers from the shop, man. Keep doing what you're doing. I love y'all, man. Yes, sir.
Appreciate it, man. Thanks for your time. We'll get you on again.
Thank you so much.
All right.
You'll be good.
It's a real good dude, real funny cat on Facebook. If you follow him on Facebook, he's hilarious. You know what I'm saying? But because he's always joking around a lot. Yeah. When he turned that corner and was like, "Look, I got COVID, my family," and it was like, "Oh shit, somebody we know got this." So
people perked up and their ears went up and they actually paid attention.
Yeah. So shouts out to M-Dubs. So hopefully you guys, you know, you saw this video tonight and you got a little educated on COVID. I'm still like talking to Kiki and then talking to him. I'm still scared.
No, you should be. You're in Texas, and I keep watching the numbers. I keep
let me
watching
tell you about the governor. Let me tell you
Tell
about
me.
Governor
Go ahead.
Abbott. Let me tell you about Governor Greg Abbott of Texas. So it's a Republican state. We're a red state.
Yeah.
They open quicker than like anybody else in the United States.
Yeah.
Now, mind you, Texas is big as fuck. Texas is huge. And if you say 200 cases, 300 cases, and you compare that to the population in Texas, okay, no big deal, because there's millions of people in Texas, and then it's only 2,200 people who have died. That's how they're looking at it. But you can't do that. You can't just reopen the economy just because Agent Orange wants the fucking economy to be booming so he can be reelected. You can't do that.
No, let me tell you something that really got me and just like really shook me. So we have been talking about New Zealand, how that prime minister over there, she just handled it like a boss. She shut that government down. She shut her whole nation down. And they had the least number of cases and the least number of deaths anywhere. And they had wiped that sucker out. It was gone. They had been COVID-free sooner than anybody and longer than anybody. So they made it.
She just shut shit all the way down.
Yeah, she was like, and we're done. So what she did then, she actually, after they had been COVID-free for, I think, for a couple of weeks, like no new cases, no deaths, nobody in the hospital, no nothing. They made an exception for 2 women from California who were coming to see a loved one. I think like the loved one was dying. And they came to see, it was just a special exemption. One of the broads had COVID. She came in contact with no less than 323 people. Do you know New Zealand has COVID again? They made an exception for that one broad. It's like, we can't make no exception. Shut down all the board. They let some people in from our country. And so now the EU, they've now banned, can't nobody come from the United States into Europe because we've not handled it properly.
And from what I'm hearing, aren't they going to stop U.S. passengers? I think I read something about that.
That's what I'm saying.
From going into, that's what you're saying. Okay.
That's what I'm just saying.
Okay. Yeah. Yo, it's real out here. So all I can say is, number one, people, pray. That's all. That's all you got to do. Pray. Wear your mask. Please, use that hand sanitizer. Stay the fuck away from people, period. Yes. Unless you have to be around them. Stay away from them, Yeah.
And because the thing is, even if you feel okay, you can be asymptomatic. And you know who you're going to kill? Me, if I go outside. So I haven't been outside, but I'm
right. You're one of those sicklies. Right.
I'm a sickly. You're going to kill me. So just, try not to kill me. And let's try not to kill Betty White either. Because how bad would you feel? She's old and immunocompromised.
Hey, don't bring up Betty White while they got that damn Confederate flag. It's a clip. The spinoff to the Golden Girls. What was that called? The Golden Palace or something? Where it was just Betty White and Blanche.
What? I missed it.
It's a spinoff.
I didn't know Empty Nest.
There's a clip Saturday nights, NBC. I remember that Saturday night that they had Empty Nest. I think it was the Golden Girls, Empty Nest, Amen. Hey, look, Amen. And I want to say like Magnum PI was on Saturday. But anyway, well, I forgot what I was just saying. I just threw
the Confederate with Blanche and Rose.
There's an episode. There's this clip going on. I'm gonna forward it to you. There's this episode of Blanche celebrating the Confederate flag. And Don Cheadle. Now, Don Cheadle, this was one of his first TV roles on the show, and they got a whole dialogue going back and forth about Don's like, look, this is a racist flag, it's offensive to me, and Blanche is like, well, my family, this is a pride thing, and it's a Southern thing, and my family, etc. And she's trying to explain to him that the way I see the flag is completely different than the way you see the flag, and then he's like, look, this thing means racist to me, and she's going back like, no, this was my family and Pa and Uncle and all of them. So I'm gonna forward the clip to you, but it of course has resurfaced because of this whole Confederate flag stuff that's happening. So I'm gonna go ahead and forward that to you.
All right, I appreciate it. I'm gonna check it out.
All right, we're wrapping up episode 8. See, what had happened was
I need you to put it back on the damn banner.
Alex is always
I need you to put, there you go. You survived COVID-19 and lived to tell about it. I needed it up on the banner. I'm Ron Burgundy. I need to read it.
All right, I'm Trey Chocolate Job.
I'm Alex Dupree.
Thank you so very much. We'll be back Monday night, 9 o'clock, right here. Y'all have a great week.
Stay safe. Please stay safe. Deuces.